got it better than us. Nobody.
We want to focus on the things that have made us good all year long. An intensity that they can't match. And the other thing is the ultimate disrespect is when somebody takes what's yours. And this is our game, so that makes it personal. Dominate on three. 1, 2, 3, dominate.
I need 60 minutes. 60 minutes of me. You got it. 60 minutes. No business, no mercy. Nothing but stop bubble. You got me. We're going to ring the bell. We're going to ring that championship bell. Ding, motherfucking dog.
Ball is on Mitch Jeter's leg. Good snap, good hold, kick on its way, and the kick is good! Yes! Mitch Jeter, with 7 seconds left, gives the Irish a lead, 27-24. Notre Dame is on the precipice.
Notre Dame has won the Orange Bowl. 3rd and 16, Mahomes rolling out. Looking, firing, intercepted, picked up by Cooper DeJean, gets a block, DeJean is in, touchdown!
The Philadelphia Eagles have won Super Bowl 59. They have beaten the Kansas City Chiefs.
And now, welcome everyone to the Huddle Up Podcast.
You are looking live.
Hello, everyone. Welcome, Huddle Up Podcast, October the 7th, 2025. We're glad to be back with you for another week to make sense of what has been a crazy football season so far. You can follow us all season long at Huddle Up Podcast on YouTube, Facebook, Blue Sky, TikTok, and Twitter. You can get us on Instagram at Huddle Up Podcast Inc. We also broadcast on Twitch on every Tuesday at Huddle Up Inc. Over there. You can get our merchandise over on our TeePublic store as well, so make sure you go ahead and hop over there. You can see some of the stylings on screen, and while you're looking at the screen there on our YouTube or Facebook channels or any of our broadcast streams, you can hit the QR code right now. That'll take you to our link tree that has everything Huddle Up related. You can go ahead and just click that, nice and easy. You can trust us. We wouldn't steer you sideways on that one. You can get our YouTube page on this QR code now on the screen as Devin checking in with us. What's going on, Devin? And lastly, if you want to grab some of that merchandise, just hit the QR code that's on the screen now, and you can go ahead and grab some of that stuff there. So just the two brothers tonight, at least as of now. EJ may crash his car into the studio later, but Sean, how are we doing this week?
Wouldn't be surprised if he pulled a Billy Joel. It'd be good to see him. So EJ, if you're coming, Godspeed getting here. The week was not as good.
No, not for you. Not for you.
Not a great time in the sports
the
world.
page to hear the sounds.
Oh, the board! Even the board's busted.
Yeah,
let's reload it.
Just coming at me with a beautiful British accent.
Bob.
There we go. Not great at all. Yeah, the Phils need all our help. If you're out there, you don't have a rooting interest in the Phillies-Dodgers series, if you'd like to just swing on board, give us some good juju.
Light a candle.
Travel out there to L.A. with some sage.
Pray to somebody.
Hit the Phillies plane, hit the clubhouse, hit Phillies with it.
Something.
Just throw sage.
Can anybody related to the Phillies hit anything?
Just, God.
That's
anything.
We're just hoping for something to be hit. That's...
You get two great starting pitching performances. You think that's going to be the cause because you're like, well, no Zach Wheeler. Two gems.
Two
absolute gems.
Minus two innings.
Just pissed away.
Minus 2 innings. Your bullpen has actually been pretty damn good.
Yeah, those 2 innings have been pretty brutal.
Yeah, but
it's the bats, man.
It's freaking bats.
Breaking news: the United States has just opened up a full-on search party for the Philly Stars. Yep, there's a search party. They were last seen in Philadelphia
about 3 weeks ago,
around Citizens Bank Park, and it's been the routine when you're looking for this group of guys. You need to wait 3 weeks to look for them. It's been long enough. Let's get an APB out.
You know what? Even if you can't find the old ones, we just can.
Is any?
You have any of them?
Anyone wants to put a bat in a ball?
Like any bats?
It'd be great.
Like the Padres. I mean, you're out in California. Padres probably have some bats they haven't used in a while.
Some of them. They're around.
And Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. They probably have.
It's not a good spot. I'm not gonna lie to you. You just gotta take them one at a time, I guess.
Less than ideal. They are wearing the powder blues. I don't know if you saw that.
Well, good.
They're going powder blue. They got permission about 10 days ago. Yeah. So, put it this way: if they win both games in LA, then they better freaking wear the powder blues on Saturday in Philly.
Oh yeah.
But if you lose in LA, at least you're going to look really good when you do.
There you go. See, it's a nice spin.
It's perspective
on the ball, but it's not the best. It just seems to be par for the course as a Phillies fan these years. Just kind of where it is. Just good enough to break your heart.
Thing sucks.
You're darn right it does. Thanks for that.
But
and then the Eagles just kind of pulled the same card. We're also not going to put any bats on anything.
Yep.
What'd you do?
Not much. That's what they did.
I mean, they put up a fight for some of it.
They did. And it was definitely a loss where, a lot of people were throwing it at the officials, and there were some bad ones in the closing 2 minutes of the game. But I'm not going to hang that loss on them when, you're
up 17-3 at home.
You're throwing 8 times in the second half, and you're like, it's just not.
Yeah,
I don't get it.
Something's amiss there. We'll certainly talk about them, I'm sure.
Yeah,
a little bit.
But otherwise, cooler weather this week down here. Got a little preview of fall.
God, it must be nice. It was 83 here today.
Don't get me wrong. 1 to 4 in the afternoon is still brutally hot when the sun's shining. But as soon as that thing tips its hat for the day, it's a beautiful place.
We've done the 40-degree mornings to 85-degree afternoons pretty regularly here this week, but
nice.
I think that's changing over the next couple of days. But my football weekend, really good. Baseball not so much. But football really good up here. So I got that going for me. Saturday, I felt like Saturday, and this will kind of we'll just officially kick it off.
Let's fire this up.
It's the best of the week. The best of the week.
Saturday, I felt like I won like multiple times because the Mrs. Michigan won at noon. Notre Dame wins in the green at 3:30. Penn State
winning in green is a big deal.
Penn State loses to UCLA.
They're still a team.
They
still have a football program.
They lose to UCLA during the 3:30 hour. Texas loses. Florida State loses. Iowa State loses. Vanderbilt loses. So Notre Dame very quickly now 17 in the AP poll. Things are looking really good. If we do our job, now granted, again, we have to do our job, but Notre Dame in a good spot. Jason in the comments here, he says, no way in hell you picked. No, absolutely did not pick UCLA. But as a Notre Dame fan living in Penn State country my entire life, I will celebrate Penn State losing to UCLA like I picked it. And you can guarantee that.
You did hint at it.
So because
you did a lock.
My lock of
Penn State first during your lock.
Yeah, my lock of the week last week was that a top 10 opponent or top 10 team would lose to an unranked opponent. So I think it started with Penn State playing UCLA. There was a couple others in there. There was like 3 or 4 games. Texas, of course, losing to right. Losing on Saturday as well. So I think I had 2 of the 4 games. I had 50% of them. So I did lock that up.
I almost locked 2.
I did almost lock
before,
2.
I think you locked 2.
Yeah, the week before I had done a top 15 team would lose, and that didn't happen. It almost happened to multiple, so I doubled down, went with a shorter a shorter sample, and I got it right this week. Jason here, he says, I think even if Gators lose 4 games, if they go 8-4, they're a playoff team. No, they are not.
I don't think anybody's going to be 8-4.
No, I don't think so. Especially, and I think it's given kind of the volatility of the games that they have lost as well. Because right now they're not even in the top 25, right? No,
I didn't see them.
they are not. So yeah,
That'd be a huge climb.
They are, yeah, they're fighting a battle. I don't think that they get in.
I mean, they would need some big games on their schedule yet to
win. Let's look at their remaining schedule here.
Like, strength of schedule's good, but not once you've lost them.
So they have Texas A&M this week. Then they have Mississippi State, Georgia, Kentucky, Ole Miss, Tennessee, Florida State. And they are at...
Well, Tennessee and Florida State, if they're both competitive to that point, would be decent games to play. There you go.
So they're 2-3. You can only lose one more. So let's just pretend that you lose to your highest ranked opponent that's left. And currently that's Ole Miss. So that would involve beating number 5, Texas A&M, number 10, Georgia, number 12, Tennessee, and number currently 25, Florida State. So, I mean, yeah, I guess if you're knocking off 4 current top 25 opponents,
Right.
you'll probably find your way in. But I don't.
I would say if you're sure of it, put money on it, because the odds on that have to be insane.
Yeah, for sure.
Like, I would imagine the betting, you could probably lay down $20 and make a good bit of change on that particular bet.
Yeah.
Because the odds have to be really in your favor there.
I'd like to know what the actual odds are for Florida to make the
because like strength of schedule is great and all, but like I mean, Miami, you can't really hang a strength of schedule there because you got pounded by them. You know what I mean? Like, it's not like an LSU you got beat. I mean, I guess you could be like, it's kind of on the Notre Dame hat right now, where it's like, well, we lost to 2 really good teams by very few points, but
right.
Miami smoked you. I mean, that was 3 scores. Beating Texas is looking less exciting. We'll see how they finish their season out. That loss to South Florida is going to be absolutely crippling. Now South Florida keeps winning and winds up ranked and possibly in the playoff. I guess that looks a little better, but it's real hard when you're starting to be like giving credit to the losses. Like, that you can, like these were good teams, but like ultimately in a tiebreaker situation, if someone goes, yeah, but you lost, you don't really have like, you don't really have much else, like this other team beat those teams. You're like,
right.
Oh, right. Yeah, I guess they're better. But hey, why not? I guess I've seen crazier things. But for Gators have a better chance than Penn State, probably.
I would agree.
But I'd put them both somewhere near none.
Almost zero. Yeah. Because, I mean, Penn State has less.
Notre Dame is like sitting at 2 losses. If they win out, I'd like to think they're in based on all the other teams that keep falling. But, I mean, with 2 losses,
I mean, I don't at this point. I don't see how Notre Dame wouldn't get in at 10-2
if they just win out and then just
like I don't think they can afford to lose, especially with what's left on their schedule.
No, even if it's the USC, if you lose that game, you're toast.
But like, I mean, so even the teams above them, like Oregon and Indiana, play this weekend. Alabama, Georgia, LSU, Tennessee, Missouri. There's combinations of those teams that are going to have to play each other.
Alabama, Missouri play.
They play this weekend. So yeah,
teams are going to start falling.
If you really want to argue the semantics of it, I would say that yes, the Florida Gators probably have a better chance of making the playoff at this point because they have more.
Oh, and he did let us know South Florida did creep in at 24. I don't know if I ever check the whole list.
Oh, yes, they did.
I saw the initial AP, and I usually check out the top 10 or 15. see where we are. And then because to this point, I don't try to get too excited about any given thing because it's all fluid and everybody's going to play each other. And it's not
first week of October.
Good to see him on the rankings there. Good for South Florida right here in sunny St. Pete. Good times.
But Sean, let's kick it off. What is your best of the week from this past week?
Well, it'd be real easy to pick one of those, any of the teams that pulled off the upsets. I mean, the fact that UCLA gets to celebrate a football victory is that's got to be super exciting for them. Hopefully the campus is okay.
Hopefully.
And if not, no one will notice. So that's great. But I'm going to hang in the NFL. You got a couple options. Like I could go with my lock of the week last week, which also was successful when I guaranteed Jacksonville to win over the Kansas City Chiefs, and good for them. Game script didn't go exactly how I thought, but I thought that they found themselves in a situation where they were getting outplayed, which I did not necessarily see, and still be in the game, and they took advantage. And any of the low ball teams that found a way to win, also exciting. And one of those teams is going to get it, and I think I'm going to actually give it to kind of a middle of the pack team that finally kind of overcame a hump. I'm going to hand it to Drake May and the New England Patriots.
There you go.
I'm going to say, go into Buffalo in the white jerseys that everyone was excited for, and I apparently was the only one that wound up disappointed in the jerseys. Thought they looked just off. And I'm like, maybe if they unveiled them later in the season when it was snowing, maybe I'd have been more excited. Josh Allen wouldn't have been. He's like, I can't see these guys. Why did we design these? But I just did something with the silver. But what I did like is every time, and it wasn't near as high scoring as I expected.
No,
it was a much tougher defensive game. And to New England's credit, they played good enough defense to allow Drake May and the offense to take some time. And I thought they played a great game. And he had a nice drive at the end of the game to clinch the thing. And, that's not an easy place to do that as a division rival. And, Drake May gets to hang his hat on a division win. That is probably one of the bigger ones of his young career. So good for Drake May, good for New England. That's my best of the week.
Yeah, it's a great win for them. A best of the week, not football related. The NHL back tonight, opening night of the NHL season. So we're off and rolling from now till April. So welcome back, hockey.
This just in the Flyers already mathematically eliminated.
Yes, well, it was
already out.
It was bound to happen.
We had a good run.
Just continue the week of suffering for the
real great run
for the
also open goalie tryouts next week if you want to
for Philadelphia sports. Sixers were eliminated last week.
Sixers, they're
before camp even opened. I mean the chaos machine running rampant in college football with the 5 top 16 teams going down. But mine and Jason actually has it in the comments here as well. Titans down 21-3 to the Arizona Cardinals, finding a way to come back. Cam Ward getting his first victory of his career.
Yeah, very excited for Cam.
The Titans getting their first win. And the crazy part is, I don't know if that game says more about the Titans or more about the Cardinals.
I think it says a lot about both.
Yeah. Like the Titans,
states of the franchise.
Titans not good, but scrappy.
Scrappy, built well in the right places. And a kind of team where, kind of like Jacksonville did in the second half, like if you put them in a position to take advantage of some miscues, they're maybe capable of doing that. Are they, going to cause them on their own? Well, that's yet to be seen. But a little confidence builder for them.
Right. They feel like they're going to be one of those teams that just is going to be a hard out a lot of weeks. So
that dropping the ball before you hit the goal line, like when is that going to stop?
How Mike checking in from work in the comments
Mikey.
There. Yeah, man, and it's happened every week, and I love Notre Dame fans. Many
Did I miss the Bengals for my best of the week?
Well, they got Joe Flacco. They got an elite quarterback finally. Not the Joe they wanted, but the Joe they got.
saw a great meme of just Joe Flacco with the Thanos glove on. He's just collecting AFC North jerseys like they're Infinity Stones.
Oh my gosh! Did you hear the last stone is Pittsburgh? Like
the last stone is Pittsburgh.
Amazing.
He's going to have to go there.
He has to before he retires.
I don't care if you're 50 years old. You got to do
Just do it. Well, they signed Aaron Rodgers, so why not? But yeah, it seems like they're going to be one of those teams. But the dropping the ball, and I love that, like, Notre Dame fans shared the clip of Jeremiah Love from the Indiana game last year running through the end zone with the ball still, like, cradled when he gets to the back of the – like, that's how it's done. Like, Dan Patrick said it on Monday. He said, if I was an NFL coach at this point, I would put an edict out, or a general manager or owner, I would put an edict out across my team and said, if any of you – like, you cross the goal line, you do one of two things with the ball. You give it to the official in the back of the end zone, or you bring it to the sideline and give it to the equipment guy. Otherwise, you're getting fined.
Like, it's just like, I love the fun league. I love the celebrations. I love all that.
Yes.
But you have to score first.
Right. Don't celebrate, don't spike until you get to the back of the end zone.
And as a coach, it's the showboating going in. It's the high stepping, it's the whatever, and I get it. It's exciting. But that ups the risk that you're just going to drop it early because you think you're
right.
Like, what's the point?
Right. Like, and I get, like, you're excited, you're probably just and I mean, not only was that ball fumbled, like, that ball was almost like just knocked out. Like, I mean, he almost had that ball knocked out at the 2 because he's just not protecting it. It's just, man, there's fundamentals. Fundamentals in
pretty embarrassing. I think. I think it's as embarrassing of a collapse for Arizona, as it is a huge win for Tennessee. But you were in the right place at the right time.
Yeah,
so
absolutely,
you guys.
Absolutely. So that Jason has a couple here talking about the Chiefs being more of a letdown than the Ravens, because Devin said his best of the week was the Chiefs losing to the Jaguars.
It's a very good best of the week.
I mean, here's the thing: the Chiefs still feel like they have life. They're not great. A loss like last night was.
I think it's more of a situation. It just hasn't gone great.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if it's like I don't know if you're not going to sell me yet on like they're not.
I'm not saying they're bad. I'm saying the Ravens are bad, and we'll get to that later. But the Chiefs feel like the Chiefs feel like they can flip a switch and
when you got injuries happening in Los Angeles, you have a little bit of disarray and couple real squirrely losses by the Chargers trying to keep the Chiefs within earshot, and the Raiders, they're sputtering,
stink.
And I mean, Denver went into Philadelphia, won a game. I mean, to me, but they're beatable. I mean, they didn't play a great game against Tennessee. Nix does still make mistakes. He's still a kid. So, yeah, I mean, as long as you can move the ball against Denver, and you're not afraid to play them, I mean, those are the ones you're going to want to win. Is going to be those couple you got coming up against the Broncos. But then again, the Chiefs have the Lions. They have a pretty good Lions team.
Yeah. Because that was kind of the debate with a lot of people is are the Chiefs good? The Chiefs are about to, we thought Chiefs are about to be 3-2, and it's like, I still don't necessarily buy that they're back. Like, do something against the Lions.
If they go
3-3
into, if they go to 3-2, go to even if they lose to Detroit before they get
make it competitive at least. But
but it's like 3-3. That's more realistic, I think. Looking forward, you'll get Ray Rice or Rashee Rice back. Xavier Worthy's healthy now; he's hitting his stride. You got, the new T Swift album is out. That's.
I think Travis caught a touchdown, so he's
all that.
He's getting back online maybe.
But man, yeah, I don't believe they're out because I was talking to some buddies today and just like name the other wild card teams in the AFC, and I don't know that there's a ton really pushing. They might not win their division, they might fall short of the Broncos or the Chargers,
right?
But saying that they have no shot to be in, as a wild card.
Well, especially in an
AFC,
especially in an AFC picture that's pretty bleak right now. If we're being
if the playoffs started today, your number one seed would be the Indianapolis Colts.
Jeez.
Just so Danny Dimes would get to take a week off.
And the New York Giants just lost to the Saints. So enjoy that, Giants fans.
Yeah, one of my favorite internet posts of the weekend was a guy that's like, I'm a Giants fan, and I'm trying to explain to my girlfriend that we just lost to the worst team in football. And she said, I thought the Giants were the worst team in football.
Well, no.
I was like, well, now it's up for debate.
No, that's also the Jets. So
the goddamn Jets.
So at least,
if there's a city having a worse weekend in sports than Philadelphia, it might be New York.
Well, I was going to say, because, the Mets are already out.
Couldn't happen to a better place.
Obviously, the Jets and Giants stink. The Yankees are just getting blasted. Although right now, only 2-1 in the top of the third, but the Blue Jays have 2 on with a guy at the plate and only 1 out. So
that grand slam in the
oh my god,
that was one of the best.
Talk about best of the week
video clips, man. That was one of the best baseball video clips, from the crowd reactions to his reaction to the team. The whole thing was like
that's electric,
vintage,
man.
It was like Joe Carter '93. Like that city went nuts.
Maybe
and really set a tone for the series. So I don't. I would argue that the Phillies have a better chance at 3 games than the Yankees do.
Oh, I would absolutely agree. Yeah. I would absolutely agree.
Kept it sort of close, and if your bats can wake up,
right? If the Phillies start hitting, they're in both of those games.
Yeah.
The Yankees have not been in either of those games.
No.
So, oh boy, and then he just fly ball to the outfield, dropped.
God.
3-1 Blue Jays. All right, so that's going to wrap up our bests of the week. Thank you for bringing those in the comments as well. And then before we get into the games this weekend, Sean, obviously we talked about the losses, the upset losses.
Oh, sure.
In college football this past weekend, but I think the two that really kind of stand out are Texas losing to Florida and Penn State losing to UCLA. And, which of those losses is more damaging to the program?
Well, it's an interesting question. I mean, I'm sure that Jason here and his Florida Gators wouldn't want me to even insinuate that losing to Florida is anything close to losing to UCLA, and I'm not going to. I mean, Florida. Do I think Florida's a great football program? Not right now. But do I think they're way better than what UCLA has going on? Miles. So, from a distance between where you're presumably at and where your opponent is at, like I think it's more bone crushing for Penn State, especially coming off another and now it's like 2 times, like pretty much back-to-back embarrassments, and you just kind of now you're just reeling. Now you're on your heels, and you have no faith in your coach, and you have no faith, presumably, in a lot of the pieces of that team, because that was you weren't supposed to be the best defense in the country, and you lost your best pass rusher to the NFL. I get that. But, I mean, if you're going to presumably compete for a national title, you can't be giving up 40 points in Southern California. You just can't do it. And so the other thing that has me leaning Penn State is because I think the Texas season in general has been detrimental to the program. I think that team, having started at 1 and all the hype in their quarterback and kind of this belief in the quarterback, and now it's starting to look more and more where you were like, why are they holding him out? Why are they starting Ewers? And now you're starting to go like, maybe he was just the better of the
right.
two.
Maybe Sark knew what he was doing last year.
Like maybe that's the best you had. Because there's time. I mean, this kid looks lost.
Yeah.
Like he's one, they're not blocking well for him.
Right, I was going to say, in his defense,
that's not a good situation.
I'm not out here saying that Arch is the
I'm
next
not saying
Peyton.
Total flop or a total bust, but
that he's been running for his life at times.
But if he's going to be a high-flying NFL prospect, he's probably going to have to play another year in college. Not that he most likely was going to anyway, but now he's going to have to do it to prove himself.
Sure.
If he wins the job,
and probably do it somewhere other than Texas, if we're being honest.
He might need to go to a change of scenery, but I think just his play and the line play, and just it's just kind of felt continuously disappointing, even though they've won some games and like they were still in the picture record wise, and obviously if you run the table things. But I think belief in running the table wasn't as strong. I think the belief in Happy Valley was that despite the first stumble, that they were going to be fine. They were going to go, they were like, it was a close game. Oregon's a good team. Let's go win some of these, easy ones. We'll ride it into Columbus and we'll try to win that one. And if we can do that, then we're in real great shape to like probably host a playoff game, and that didn't happen.
No, and because if you look at the two schedules, Penn State, you lose to Oregon, double overtime, by a touchdown. Like, okay, the rest of your schedule: UCLA, Northwestern, Iowa. Then you have Ohio State, Indiana. You finish Michigan State, Nebraska, Rutgers. Okay, so you lose to Ohio State. You lose to the number 5 team in the country and the number 1 team in the country.
Those are your two losses. If you can beat State and Oregon,
yeah, and if you can beat Indiana. You're fine. You're a playoff team. Hell,
that would have been a good win.
Even if you can lose close to Ohio State and Indiana, it means 3 close losses to 3 top 10 teams. You might be alive depending on what else happens around you. Now, you're screwed because you're basically in a spot where you have to win out. You're going to have to beat the unranked opponents probably convincingly
by a ton,
and you're going to have to beat Ohio State and Indiana in back-to-back weeks, one of them on the road.
I don't know if they're really not that they can't blow out weaker teams, but they're not a shoot 'em up kind of off. Like, it's not that type of play. I don't think. I think they want to kind of grind and pound and kind of let you have it.
Well, they got to figure out how to do something different.
Right, they're going to have to. Well, they couldn't figure it out against UCLA. Jesus, man,
I know.
You're going to have to learn how to stop people.
Like that's the astounding part. And to your point, Texas, you still have number 6 Oklahoma, number 20 Vanderbilt, number 10 Georgia, number 5 Texas A&M.
Right, and with that reason alone, if Texas is able to right a ship,
you're going to be you'll probably be back in. Yeah,
if you win 3 of those 4, it might not get you in because you might have too many losses, but it would look a lot better than what Penn State has to do.
Your resume is going to be stronger.
And now you have to focus on that game in Columbus and not let it distract you and cost you to drop another easy one somewhere else. So, and then even when you get it, if you do go out there and win it, then you got like Indiana, you got a pretty quick turnaround there to play another very good team. So, I don't – for a school called Linebacker U to go out and play defense poorly – was, I think, bone cry. Like, you're going to have – I'm not going to say everybody's going to decommit after one game. But if Franklin didn't know where the door was before this game, they've showed it to him.
Right. They're like, it's there.
They're like, it's over there.
We were not making you move to it yet, but
we've moved your coat rack closer to it.
Yeah.
Is what we've done.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it's just more damaging too because, Florida's, they're a team that has been close in some big games against SEC teams and good ACC teams. Like, you have an interim UCLA coach, a former quarterback coach who's the first, Rick Neuheisel's son, your first game as OC, and he's in the post game saying that multiple times when he was calling the play in to the quarterback's helmet, he didn't have his headset turned on because he hadn't practiced using it. So you literally got 40 points dropped on you by a team whose offensive coordinator wasn't communicating plays into the quarterback's helmet.
So what, the kid was just calling his own plays?
I guess. Or they were using hand signals.
Like, was there someone on the sidelines, like, just
something?
Do this?
But yeah, like
Number
he said,
15.
he said in the post, he's like, multiple times I didn't have my microphone turned on.
Okay, well, first of all, you don't need to tell everyone that.
Actually, I think you do. I think that makes it look even better. What does it matter to them? They just beat Penn State.
They just pummeled them.
Like,
Be like, let me tell you how embarrassing this really is.
Hey, you want to know what's really bad if you're Penn State? Quarterback didn't get half the plays called into him.
He didn't even have a play. He just
snapped the ball and went off instinct.
Run around and get open. Maybe that helped.
Maybe
this wasn't on film.
But yeah, it's and for Penn State, I mean, Franklin's been there.
Together. Like every time the guy cuts, it's right next to the Gatorade cooler.
You know,
Franklin, the Gatorade cooler cut.
Franklin's been there over a decade. One Big Ten title. Like it's. For Sark, you've been to the playoff semifinals each of the last 2 years. Like this isn't a great loss, but you've at least,
even if your whole season stumbles. Like I feel like Texas football's back-ish.
I think, like, you can recover quicker.
Yeah.
And for you know, and you're in the South. You're in the South. You're in the SEC. You're gonna get transfers. You're gonna be able to swing your NIL money. For Penn State, you kind of have a big problem now because you're falling. You're in a terrible climate, and Ohio State is the top of the game right now.
And they already steal a lot of recruits from you.
Exactly. Notre Dame is, they lost to Ohio State in the national title game last year, and is all of a sudden clicking. And Michigan is playing good football and has a young core. So you have a problem if you're Penn State. You really do. So I think that one loss. That loss definitely hurts them.
Too. That's your worst.
More than it hurts the Texas Longhorns. But Sean, let's jump into the games. We have 3 games featuring top 25 opponents facing off against one another this weekend, and we will start Saturday, big noon on Fox. It is those number 1 Ohio State Buckeyes. They are 5-0, a 14.5 road favorite at number 17 Illinois, who is 5-1. Your over/under on this one is 50.5.
Yeah, I think with this one, I went against Illinois a few weeks ago in an Indiana game. You and I both were very pro Illinois, very anti Indiana, and that one came against me. So I'm going to try not to talk bad on Illinois. They've obviously done some great things since, and they look like a very good football program. Unfortunately, they're playing a program that looks far better than very good. This program is just performing at the elite level. And while I think Illinois is probably going to hang up some points and is going to put up a fight, especially at home, I think that gives them maybe some early energy. Maybe they have some trickery. Maybe they've changed some play. They've been saving some stuff for this game. So I wouldn't be surprised if they come out and score points early. But I think push comes to shove in the second half, and guys start getting winded. Illinois is going to have a lot more of those winded guys than Ohio State's going to have. And I think Ohio State, 14.5, such a big number, though. Give me the Buckeyes. I think it's a pretty close number. I wouldn't touch it. I think it's going to, if they cover, it's going to be like a 10 or 7 point. And it's like if it's within one score of that 14. I feel like Ohio State's going to push it. I think they're going to get to like a turnover late when a team's trying to force something at home. So give me Ohio State, and I think the over's your safer bet in this game.
Yeah, I think the over's a safe bet if you're playing this one. Look, I watched Illinois in their game against real competition against Indiana, and they didn't have a pulse. It doesn't matter to me that they're at home. I think Ohio State's just infinitely better. I hate saying it because I hate them. But Ohio State's they're starting to hit a stride, so I think they cover this number. Maybe by only about 3 points or so, but I think they do it. But I would take the over if I'd be touching it. Devin has Ohio State and the under. So let's move then to the SEC, but we stay at noon. This one on ABC. It is number 8 Alabama. They are 4-1 and a 3-point road favorite.
Alabama!
They are at number 14 Missouri, who is 5-0. Your over/under on this one, Sean, 51.5.
Well, I personally think this is your game of the week.
Yeah.
I think that this is two very good football programs. I think Missouri is not as well known. Obviously, Alabama's doing a lot of it in the forefront against some real good teams. That win over Georgia made it real evident just how good that program's playing. But Missouri is just quietly playing good defense, which is something we have not seen typically out of a Missouri team. They're not just an outscore you team. They got two good pass rushers. I think they're going to try to get some pressure on them. Now, probably one of the bigger offensive lines they played, but with success to this point, I mean, they're obviously 5-0 and 14th in the country for a reason. They're going to come out pretty fired up at home too. I think that's going to be an electric day. They've never hosted a team in the top 15, or at least not while they were. This is the first time that's happened in Missouri, and that place is going to be fired up. And I think that's enough to provide enough energy for Missouri to keep this incredibly close. I'm actually surprised the spread is only 3. I thought it would be Alabama by a bit more. So I would have really liked Missouri to cover. I just, unfortunately, I don't know that they will. I don't know if you can cover 3.
Right.
It's real tough. I could see this one being 3.
Right.
Just pushing.
Just pushing.
In fact, if you gave me 3.5, I might take the cover. But I'm going to take Alabama, but I think it's going to be a lot closer. I think a lot of people are going to look at this game and think it's just going to be a roll tide kind of game, and I don't think you're going to get it. I think Alabama's going to win by somewhere between 3 and 10 points.
Alabama!
But it's going to be something like 37-27, 37-31, something along those lines, and that will push it over.
Yeah, again, I think the over's smart here. Devin has Alabama, and the over. Look, I know they beat Georgia. I still think that has more to do with Georgia than it does Alabama. I don't
very well maybe.
I don't buy in. Like 3 weeks ago, it was Kalen DeBoer is going to get fired. Now we're top 10. Roll Tide roll. They're back. Everything's fine. I don't think everything's fine. I think there's still problems with this Alabama team.
Oh, sure.
And again, I think the Georgia loss was more about Georgia than it was about Alabama. I think Alabama, good, not great. And when you have a good, not great team going into an environment that at times has been hard to win in, and it's going to be hard to win there this Saturday, not only cover, give me the Missouri money line. I think Missouri wins this game, and we have another weekend where there's less opportunity for it, but there's going to be shakeups in college football. It's been chaos all year. I think that we're just in a chaos world in football.
Just rides the chaos train.
Just keep it going. I do think it hits the over. Because I think you're going to see a lot of points. Because I don't think Alabama's that good defensively.
Missouri to win, it has to hit the over. I think it's going to be over.
Yeah, you're not going to win a close, low-scoring game against Alabama. They'll grind you out and beat you into the ground. But yeah, I like Missouri to get the win here. And then last one. So again, not a lot of heavy hitters in the later part of the day. Get your college football work in early. Because we have our other matchup here, 3:30 Eastern time on CBS. Number 7 Indiana, they are 5-0. They travel out to Eugene to number 3 Oregon, who is 5-0. They are a 7.5-point home favorite. Only home favorite in these 3 games. You're over under 55.5.
Alabama.
I didn't even have my hands on the button.
You picked Missouri.
I picked Missouri.
Was mad at you.
It was. The board got mad.
The board is like, don't you bet
that.
Don't
you dare bet Missouri.
We've just run the analytics, and it's a terrible bet. You bet Alabama. So those of you listening.
Well, board, I have one thing to say to you.
Joe Buck yourself.
You did. Take that, you stupid
Jim's
board.
Soundboard thinks you should take Alabama.
Yeah, listen to the board. Don't listen to me. I only predicted the chaos in the top 10 last.
Soundboard says take what you were going to bet and bet it again. So bet it twice.
Bet Alabama twice. Go to 2 different apps and bet Alabama twice.
And now I get to predict the other half of that Illinois-Indiana game that surprised me quite a bit that week. And I do think Indiana proved to me that they are still a very good team that they didn't fall off quite as much as I expected them to from last year, and they've been rolling pretty hot. Unfortunately, I think Oregon is just cruising, and I think they had their potential slip up in a whiteout in Happy Valley, and they played a very not typical Oregon football game, and they kind of flexed the defensive muscle a little, and we're like, hey, we're not just flashing.
We can make a stop.
Yeah, we can stop you, and good luck stopping us. And I think that's ultimately what this case is going to be, is like they're going to stop Indiana a lot more than Indiana's going to stop them. I don't think this 7.5 number is high enough, so I'm going to take the Ducks to cover 7.5. Just cruise right through on this one. Give me the Ducks by double digits probably, and this is our highest over/under of the week. I've taken over twice.
Quack attack is back, Jack!
Hell with it. Let's do it again. Let's take the over on this one as well. Mostly Oregon points, but we'll go ahead and I'm going to presume Oregon scores maybe 35, so that means they only got to score 20 over there in Indiana. So let's do that.
I mean, Indiana put up 60 on Illinois, so like this is an offense that can score. Obviously, so is Oregon. So again, yeah.
Over under 100 points.
Right. Yeah, I think the it's not whether the over under. It was not whether the over is going to be hit. It's when, and like, does it get hit before halftime? Like that's
mid third quarter.
That's the real question. It's like when, like
if you're getting a beer at the end of halftime and you're late getting back, you might miss the over.
Yeah, you might. So plan accordingly if you're in Eugene. But yeah, look, Oregon. Better than they were last year. So is Indiana at that account. But I just don't think it's going to be good enough. I don't think it's much over the 7.5, but I do think Oregon wins probably by about 10 points or so. So I'm going to take them to cover. And yeah, like I said, the over as well. Devin has quack motherfucker and the over. So. Lot of agreements here with me and Missouri being the only
kind of the lone standout on
real differing opinion there.
I don't know if I like being this even with Devin.
It's a dangerous game to play. Sometimes it just happens. We'll see if we stay on that road here as we move to the NFL. And when we do move to the NFL, we're gonna institute the clock on 2 of the games. We'll try and keep the picks under about 2 minutes on that one. So we will dive right in. But we do have 2 teams on a bye this week. That is the Vikings and the Texans. Vikings finally coming home from the United Kingdom. They spent 2 weeks over there. Found 2 wins. So. I guess it's not all.
Yeah, here Minnesota's a little rough weather-wise. Why don't we send you somewhere overseas? Oh, great. Where are we playing? England.
Also, you send them over there when the weather's actually still nice in Minnesota. Like we're going to take you out of nice weather, put you in shitty weather, and then you're going to come back.
Get you ready for wintertime. How about 2 weeks in England?
2 weeks in Ireland and England. Yeah, that works.
Also, watch out. People are getting mugged out there. So, to be fair, that was Ireland.
That was Ireland. So,
to be fair.
All right, we will start Sunday, 1 o'clock Eastern time on Fox. And we'll bring the clock out for this game, maybe more for myself than for you. But it is the 2-1 Dallas Cowboys. They're a 3.5-point road favorite at the Carolina Panthers. You're over/under on this one, 49.5. Sean.
Man, that spread is wacky to me. Like the Panthers win a game and everybody doesn't know what to do with them, and I think that's probably what it is nobody knows what to do with the Carolina Panthers. I don't know if the Carolina Panthers know what to do with the Carolina Panthers. Rico Dowdle revenge game. I'm gonna be the first to really sell that. This is the Rico Dowdle route. Yeah, easy for me to say. I said it right the first time. I should have shut my mouth.
Should have just let it go.
Yeah. Panthers look like they're waking up a little bit. I think they've got the running game going. They do have a tight end out of Notre Dame playing for them now.
2 of them actually.
Yeah, they got a
Tremble and Evans.
Yeah, I got a rookie coming in, has 2 touchdowns, I believe, in 2 weeks. That was my surprise waiver wire pickup a few weeks ago. So that was very exciting. And the good news for the Panthers is the Cowboys defense is still the Cowboys defense. So I think there's a lot of variables in this game. My advice to you as a gambling person, don't touch this game. Just don't. There's too many things that could go wrong. I guess just based on how bad the Panthers have been up until their win, I'm going to take Dallas to cover that 3.5, just because I think Dallas's offense is playing at a very high level, and I don't know what Carolina can do to stop that or compete with it, and they're probably going to have to score more points than Rico Dowdle's capable of. So I'm going to take Dallas reluctantly, and I think it's going to stay under. Barely. I think that number's not even fun to pick. So I'll take under in Dallas. It could easily be Carolina and over. I don't really know. But that's my gut says go there.
All right, very good. For me, the Cowboys are about...
God, I'm still with them.
Are about...
But they are who we thought they were.
Yeah. Besides the kind of goose egg game in Chicago, the Cowboys have pretty much performed as expected. You lose to the Eagles, you beat the Giants, you don't lose to the Packers. That was a little surprising. And then you got the win over the Jets. So I had the Cowboys somewhere between 2-3 and 3-2, and that's exactly where they are at 2-1. The offense is playing phenomenally. Dak Prescott playing the best best football of his career, and really has command over this offense. The players seem to be kind of gelling under the first-year coach Brian Schottenheimer. Defense stinks. So if they can figure that out at all, this team certainly could be some sort of decent. I'm not going to say good. I'm not going to say great, but some sort of decent. And yeah, the Rico Dowdle revenge game may be a little scary, but I'm not that worried about the Carolina Panthers. I think they're still a team that's trying to figure out who they are and what they're going to be. So I do think the Cowboys get the win. I think they cover that 3.5, and I think it goes a slight over because I think the Cowboys are going to put up a lot of points. Panthers are going to score some, and I think it's going to be enough.
You might see the Ted McMillan show.
I think it's going to be enough to tip the scale. So Dallas and the over on Sunday there. Devin does have the Cowboys and the under. So then let's move to Sunday, 1 o'clock on Fox. It is the 3-2 Seattle Seahawks. They are a 1.5-point road favorite against the 4-1 Jaguars. And who the over-under 45.5 in this one, Sean.
Yeah, it's a strange one because I've been really high on Jacksonville and I've been really high on their kind of comeback to, we'll call it prominence, I guess just relevance. I think that it's a good year for them, just like someone on this panel predicted. Having said that, I also was very high on the Seahawks. These are two teams that I had as highly improved or at least better than expected for a lot of people. And, you say, well, the Seahawks are 3-2. Let's not forget that in my mind, they're 4-1 because I still think they beat the 49ers if Sam Darnold doesn't trip over his own guy. Well,
in that case, the Cowboys beat the Seahawks.
There you go.
In Seattle all those years ago. All those years ago, Romo fumbled the snap but scored the touchdown.
There you go. But still, I do like the Seahawks here. I think the Jaguars got a real quality win under their belt. Could I see them just carrying that through and beating the Seahawks? I could. But even in a loss last week, I think Seattle showed that, if they have to flex their offensive muscle, they will. And they've played other games where if they have to flex their defensive muscle, they will. And I think they'll flex whichever muscle you need them to. And I think Seattle gets the job done here. I think they cover that 1.5 and give me the over because I think they'll score enough points.
All right, crashing into the studio.
Yeah, that's really awesome.
The van is here, buddy.
EJ, how we doing this week?
I'm doing well. Sorry, but guys, I had a little late. Had a couple dinner plans, and I had to do another podcast, but we're here.
Don't worry, we didn't notice.
We know you missed me, Sean.
Yeah, we did. There were.
Nice.
Yeah, we did. There was not as many bad takes as there normally are. No, EJ, real quick. We won't have you analyze the whole game, but Cowboys 3.5 at Carolina. You're over under 49.5.
Typical trap game, but I'll take Dallas win that one, and I will take the over.
It's a trap.
All right, and then this one we have Seattle. They are 1.5 point road favorites at Jacksonville. 45.5 is your over under.
This is a big game, actually. This is actually one of the best games of the weekend.
Yeah, it's,
who thought that?
And this slate not great this weekend, but this is a strong one.
Yeah, and you got top 12 quarterback and Sam Darnold and right now, playing here too. Also on top of that,
Knock it
what are you
off.
talking about? We talking about?
Stop that. God dang it!
Well, I don't get.
You think that slide all day? Come on, I'm not in that slide.
It's like he heard us talking Seahawks and is like, I got to get into the studio.
The thing is that both these teams are mirrors of each other in both conferences. Like, who are these? We still don't know who these teams are. Like, the Jags are 4-1, but some folks will say it feels fraudulent. I don't know.
What the hell is this?
I don't know how you guys feel about that. Seahawks do also, and Seahawks probably should be in Tampa on Sunday. It was the best game of the year, probably.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
So these teams mirror each other, really, in a lot of ways. Best the over, obviously. But I am going to take. This is tough, bro. Give me the Jags. They're home. Give me the Jags, but it's a tight nip game, 3-point game. But the over is the best bet here.
Yeah, I like the over here. Offenses are clicking. And here's the thing: both have really good defenses right now who can force turnovers and score points themselves. So, I think the over is probably the safer point.
And I think in a close game, like what pushed me to Seattle was I trust a mistake from. I trust a quarterback mistake from. Who do you trust? Jacksonville. Way before I chose a quarterback mistake from Seattle. So I would definitely think Trevor Lawrence has the better odds at that.
Yeah, for sure. So, but I just think the emotion of coming off a Monday night win, I think it's going to be harder for Jacksonville to recover from it. Like, it would just sound weird.
A lot of calming down to do.
Like, it's a highly emotional, shorter week to prepare. You have a really good team coming in, probably by all accounts, a better team than you just played. So I think Seattle's going to kind of catch Jacksonville at the right time, give them their second loss of the year. So I think they cover and win the game. But, yeah, I do think they hit the over as well in that one. Devin has the Seahawks and the under. All right, next one. And the rest of the way, we'll hit the 2-minute clock on these final two games as well. But we have the 4-1, somehow, 4-1 San Francisco 49ers. They travel to the 4-1 Tampa Bay Buccaneers, who are the 3-point home favorite. Your over-under on this one, 47.5. Like I said, 4:25 Eastern time on CBS. EJ, we'll go to you first.
Great game. Two teams right now that are making the case for second best in the conference, maybe. I don't know. The Niners, they're 4-1 right now. It's amazing what they're doing. Right now, I'm looking at Coach of the Year. Like, both these coaches here have an argument to be Coach of the Year right now through 5 weeks. But the Bucs are due. Every game they've won this year, it's been a comeback. Last minute comeback. They're due a complete game, and I think the emotion, even though it's a long week for the Niners, the emotion of winning that game against the Rams on the road, it's a lot to ask them to do this again. And I think the Bucs are due a complete game. Give me the Bucs here to win this game and cover, and I will take what do I have here? I missed it here. Oh, I have the over.
All right, very good. Sean.
Yeah, it's definitely two teams. You talk about two teams that have kind of mirrored each other in an ability to kind of snatch victory out of the jaws of defeat. Both teams have been doing that all season. And, sometimes it's the mark of a lucky team. Sometimes it's the mark of a good one. I think it's going to take us several more weeks to kind of figure out which of those each of these teams are. But man, the 49ers really got fortunate in that, and you're right, it was an emotional win. But man, that was just play errors, coaching errors. There's a lot of things going wrong on the Rams side of the ball there.
Mm-hmm.
They're a Kyron Williams touchdown away from another loss that in my head still feels like one, but it wasn't. They're 4-1. They're looking good. I think the Buccaneers are looking better, especially at home. I think I trust the Buccaneers coaching staff right now more. I trust Baker Mayfield way more. I saw a comment in here. I guess the students have arrived here in Tampa. So Emeka Egbuka, I don't know about best wide receiver in the league.
Best rookie receiver? I'll give you that.
He's certainly the best receiver in Tampa, and arguably right now the best wide receiver in Florida.
I think through 5 weeks, he has a case of being one of the best receiver in the league.
He's up there.
Through 5 weeks.
A lot of the guys that you would say are better just aren't showing it. And, he's making a very strong case. So Godwin's going to be healthier. Give me the Buccaneers. I'd say cover the 3. I think they're going to easily cover the 3. And I'm going to take the over because there's going to be a lot of points, obviously. So let me go ahead and do that.
Very good. Devin in the comments has the Niners and the over. EJ, you're talking about these two coaches, Coach of the Year candidates, Shane Steichen and Liam Cohen would also like a word as well.
I agree with that. We're doing top 5. They're definitely top 5. Yeah.
Yeah. There's going to be some shaking out there that'll happen, but looking at this game, you got to give credit to the Niners, again, much as I dislike them as a team, and they are doing surprising things to still be at 4-1. But that bubble's got to burst somewhere. And when you're coming east, I know it's not a 1:00 game, but you're coming east against a really good team at home. It's going to be a tough environment to play in. I like the Bucs here, and I like them a lot. I actually think it stays under. I think the Bucs defense is going to make some plays over a banged up offense. Bucs are going to score points. I don't think the Niners score enough to get it over, and we still don't know. Mac Jones looked like he was in a bad way with his leg last week. Don't really know where he's at physically right now, but I'm sure it's still going to be banged up a little bit. So yeah,
is he the starter still next week?
I believe so. I don't think Purdy's ready to come back yet. So I think there with Mac Jones, I like the Bucs a ton. I think they get it done, and I will take the over as well. And then last one for the week, one that maybe had a little bit more luster to it before we started the season, but nevertheless, we are here. It is the Detroit Lions, 4-1. They go on the road to 2-3 Kansas City, who surprisingly, get this number when you can, 1.5-point favorite in this one. Your over-under is 50. This one Sunday night, 8:20 Eastern time on NBC. EJ.
Got a hard time thinking the Chiefs could be 2-4 in the middle of October. That's really strange for me to see that. And
apparently it's strange for Vegas as well.
Yeah, and yet that reality might set here for the Chiefs. Honestly, the Lions right now are, in my opinion, the best team in football right now. Currently, they're just playing the best football right now since that Week 1 loss. Like that Week 1 loss against the Packers. I don't remember anymore. I just mentioned it because it was there. So. But this is tough because the Chiefs are. I can't imagine Pat Mahomes and Andy Reid being 2-4. I understand the schedule plays it that way. God, this is tough, man. I'll go KC because the Detroit's do a letdown. But damn, don't bet this game. And if you're gonna bet it, I would bet the over in this one. But don't bet this game, honestly.
Yeah, I think that's a safe play. But Sean, Lions at the Chiefs.
Yeah, the only thing scary about that number is you're trying to figure out why it's there. I think there's nothing in my mind that points to the Kansas City Chiefs covering that. I just don't.
Wildest part is on CBS Sports. It's moved to 2.5 for the Chiefs.
Yeah, it is. Mm-hmm.
So people are still betting. Oh no, they're betting.
But I can tell you why though. What we've seen week to week now, all these great teams week to week, we start believing in them, and then what happens? They lose a game they shouldn't lose.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, it's true. There's a lot of parity there, and I think there's a lot of folks on the radio telling you that the Chiefs aren't dead, and the Chiefs aren't dead, and the Chiefs aren't dead. And I think people refuse to believe they're just going to lay down and die. I don't think they're going to lay down and die, but I do think Man Campbell's going to beat them to death, and it's going to happen, whether they want it to or not. Like you said, the Lions are playing as good a football as anybody in the league. I think their defense is playing great. You don't have Rashee Rice back yet. I get it. The offenses look better, but you haven't pass protected super well. And if you're not going to do that against the Detroit Lions, you're not going to have time to scramble. You don't scramble against Dan Campbell. That should be a slogan. Yeah, I just think the Lions have too many weapons to stop. And I don't care if it's in Kansas City. I know that's probably 6 points instead of 3 anywhere else. So give me the Lions. Give me Man Campbell. Give me who I think is the best team. And if the Chiefs find a way to beat them, good for them. But I don't think this game buries them either way. I think the Chiefs still have a legitimate shot at the playoffs, even if they go 2-4.
I agree.
But I think they're going to have to prove themselves because I think they're going to be 2-4.
Playoffs?
I don't think, especially in a division that, the Chargers haven't run away with it yet. So you're even at 2-4, you're still alive. Chargers do, luckily for them, have the advantage of a couple of 3 division wins already. Devin has the Lions and the over. And look,
you can give me the over. I didn't say it, but you can give me the over.
There you go. Just kind of hammering home the same points as you guys. The Chiefs, although not dead, this game is one of those ones where I feel like they're just going to be like, can we end it so somebody doesn't get hurt? Because Detroit is so good right now, and they are clicking. They are healthy. They look every bit as good as they have over the last couple of years, maybe better. And Sean brings up a great point. And the Chiefs, again, no matter how you love them, you hate them, in the trenches the last couple of years, they've been very good on both sides of the ball. Go back to the Trevor Lawrence. I get knocked, the Chumbawamba touchdown from last night. I get knocked down, but I get up again. Chris Jones, Kyle on this show for many years talked about Chris Jones being
he got blown up on that
the
play.
Most valuable player for the Chiefs. That guy didn't know where Trevor Lawrence was. He's on the ground flailing. The clock, it's getting late early for the Chiefs, okay? And on the offensive side of the ball, they're getting dominated at the line. That's a recipe for disaster against this Lions defense right now. So I have the Lions. If you can get this 2.5, 1.5, half a point, it doesn't matter. Grab the Lions on that spread. And I'm not sure if it gets over because I don't know that the Chiefs can score enough points to combine with what the Lions do to get the over. So I'm going to take a slight under in this one. I think this is going to be as lopsided of a performance and result as we've seen in a Chiefs game in a very long time. I really do. I think this one's going to be. Unfortunately, we're going to have to hear Al Michaels and or Mike Tirico and Chris Collinsworth try to make up things to talk about on a Sunday night. So that's the problem for us. But that is where we will leave week number 6. Already 6 weeks in to the National Football League season. That's where we will leave it. And now we head to the power rankings as we do each week here on the show. We look at the top 10 and the bottom 5 in the National Football League. And EJ, since it is kind of still your segment, a little different this year, who is your bottom 5 this week?
All right, bottom 5 going from 28 to 32. This was actually tough because this is a case for like the 3 or 4 teams being this bottom 5. But for now, 28 the Saints, 29 the Giants, 30 the Titans, 31 the Raiders, 32 the Jets.
All right, Mike has Saints at 28, Ravens 29, Dolphins 30, Browns 31, and of course
the goddamn Jets
at 32. Sean.
All right, I've still got the Dolphins in here as well. I'm kind of with Mike on that. I think they're still just real bad. There are a lot of teams that could be tossed in with them. The Saints haven't quite grown their way out of here yet. You can win a cheap game, but I still know who you are. Glad to see both New York teams just settling on the bottom here. Giants. I'll keep the Titans just below the Giants for now. Super excited for Cam Ward, but we'll keep him down there. And the Jets, the goddamn Jets, just proving that once again 0-5, never out of reach in the city of New York. So,
and like the sad thing is the first
on that one.
The sad thing is, and the first 3 of those like felt winnable, and then I mean take away a couple of junk time touchdowns, and you just were nowhere in the same stadium as the Cowboys this week. So it feels like it's getting worse before it gets better for the Jets. I have Saints at 28, Ravens 29, Dolphins 30, Giants 31, and yeah, you know the deal.
I fell asleep last night with the Ravens my bottom 5.
Yeah, so here's the deal, man. I had the Ravens at 28 last week. I was the only one that had them in my bottom 5 last week. They lost pretty bad again. I had to move them down. I get there's injuries on both sides of the ball, but they weren't playing very good before injuries happened. So the Ravens. The sad thing is, like, if Lamar gets healthy and you start to play a little bit better, I mean, you're only 2.5 back from the Steelers. You still have 2 games against them. You're not dead. I think odds-on favorite still to win the division. So you can get back in it, but you're a bad team right now.
Those odds are going to shift a bit with Joe Flacco in Cincinnati. They're going to shift a little.
They are.
They are probably more in favor of the Baltimore Ravens.
The wild part is if Shedeur Sanders takes the trade to Baltimore, he's your starter there now for a couple of weeks.
Imagine that.
Joe Flacco probably doesn't get traded to Cincinnati, and maybe they make a deal for like Russell Wilson or Kirk Cousins or something. But wild how that whole thing's played out. But yeah, do I still think the Titans are one of the worst teams in football? Sure, but you know what? You got to win. Giants lost to a really bad team. I'll pull the Titans out for 1 week. I'm sure they'll find their way back in at some point. Devin says you're not going to hear any arguments from him about the Dolphins. Time to move on from Mike McDaniels. Yeah, I think it's a matter of when, not if, for the Dolphins at this point on that. Anything else?
I'm shocked he's still in the job right now. Honestly, I'm really stunned. I said on Sunday after the game, like that's a game that you lose your job for that game. The way you lost that game, I lose my job now because you can't jump. And I'm sitting here at 9 o'clock and 9:30 at night here on a Tuesday, and he's a job still. It's fucking crazy.
Yeah. He looked pretty dejected coming off the field there. I think there's a couple of games now where it really could kind of happen at any week. You have a Chargers team that's beaten up and kind of struggling a bit. Cleveland Browns, Falcons, Ravens before you start the month of November against Buffalo. So I really do kind of feel like any of these next 4 weeks really could be the final.
Are you, real quick before we go to top 10?
Yeah.
Are you guys Ravens done for good, or are you still giving a sliver of hope?
No, I do think there's still hope there. The problem is even if Lamar gets back and your offense starts clicking, your defense is bad, and I don't know how you can fix it.
It has not been good.
Bad and banged up.
Yeah.
And I think that side of the ball is more permanently banged up, right? Like some of those are season enders.
Yeah,
I think I heard. So I mean,
But here's the deal. I look at their schedule. You have
the Steelers aren't real.
No,
right? They're not real.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing for the Ravens. You have the Rams this week, then you go on a bye week. You come out of it against Chicago, Miami, Minnesota, Cleveland, and the Jets. Those, maybe minus Minnesota, are all winnable games. And then you get into a division stretch of Cincinnati, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati. From now till the middle of December.
That buys them a lot of. Boy, it would be something for them if they could find a way to beat the Rams. Now, I don't know that I would pick that.
I wouldn't.
But if they found a way to do it,
it's in
they're
Baltimore.
Actually not sitting in a real bad spot, because I think if you start to win some, like if Lamar comes back and you win a couple games and you start to get a little confidence, maybe you do reach out to some teams about some defensive players, right? Maybe you do have the opportunity to get a pass rusher you're missing or a defensive back you need. Maybe you just go sign one of some decent names out there.
Sure.
I was looking at the free agent list recently. I'm like, man, you could go do something. But, yeah, it might be an interesting spot for him. Unfortunately, I think it's going to go the other way. I think you're going to lose to the Rams, and then you're going to have to start piecing your life together.
Yeah.
I think that's probably where they're headed. So,
I mean, coming out of the bye week for the Steelers, I mean, sure, they have Cleveland and Cincinnati, but those games, especially Cleveland, have been kind of a thorn in the Steelers' side.
Oh, absolutely.
Then they have Packers, Colts, Chargers, Bengals, Bears, Bills, Ravens. So there's
a lot of losable.
There's
games
some
in that
losable
stretch
games for Pittsburgh.
Steelers.
So I'm not. It feels weird to have a team this close to the bottom of the NFL on my list, but I'm not counting the Ravens out. But
I wouldn't. I still think they have some of the best talent on paper.
They have talent,
and as we said too on the show 2 weeks ago, that their schedule will lighten up. Now, again, my biggest concern is more so
Mike happy about Flacco,
more
man.
So getting guys back in the fold.
Yeah. So still alive, still breathing, but the priest is on speed dial.
This has been Joe Flacco was already sacked and is out for the season. Already sacked.
Did Browning just get benched? He got hurt.
No, I saw they cut the guy who was their backup, right? So I think they're bringing.
I think he's still there. They're just bringing in Flacco now. One would presume it's to be the starting quarterback. I don't know that they said that. Because I was like, well, is there a chance he's just there in case Browning flubs up? And I'm like,
why would you? But why would you bring him in, right?
Well, I mean, what'd they spend for him? Like a 6th-round pick?
Dude, yeah. a pick swap, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, you gave up like a 5th for a 6th or vice versa. I think they gave up the lower one just to get Flacco out of Cleveland.
Here's what's weird, though, about the Bengals. Like, your season is you still technically can make the playoffs. So why aren't you going for a Russell Wilson or Jameis Winston, a quarterback that actually can compete?
So there you go, Mike, the Bengals fan, exploring all options. So
does it make any sense? Like, why don't you go after a quarterback like Russell Wilson who can actually probably steal you some wins and keep you?
Jamar Chase is lobbying for Jameis Winston,
especially in the AFC that's really weak right now. That if you could put on at least 3 or 4 more wins on the board before December, you get Burrow back in December and you can make a run to the playoffs. It makes no sense to me.
I mean, but didn't Flacco also have a team in the playoffs like 2 years ago? I mean,
yeah,
I get it. His age is 2 years is 2 years.
But that's what I'm saying. 2 years is 2 years. Yeah.
Is a reliable arm that knows how to get the ball out, how quick he has to get the ball out. It knows how to make decisions, and I think that's what you're seeing with Browning is you have a quarterback who's not analyzing the quick decision. Flacco's going to get the ball to the playmakers.
Tell you one thing, I love the ceiling for Mike Gesicki and anybody playing tight end for the Bengals. I'll tell you that right now. Get me someone over the middle.
Mike also adds about the Ravens. They were trash defensively before Lamar got hurt. They'll still be trash defensively. Absolutely. And that's the part that for the Ravens, like the offense can be as good as it needs to be, but can the defense find any sort of a pulse? Like I'm not writing them off yet, but if their defense can't find a pulse, they won't get back in it.
Yeah, as you said, they're on lifeline. So
that's a good point. Flacco beat the Packers, formerly the EJ's second
now,
best.
I've changed that number in the last
right,
2
but
weeks.
you had him up there. You had him up there.
Best team thing is now in the air because right now the best team in the NFC is the Detroit Lions.
I know. I'm just saying.
Technically, Philadelphia is number 2 right now.
You did have the Packers as your NFC number 2 at one point.
Then I had the Rams last week, remember? And then that's done. And now the Bucs are the case now.
Well, sorry about your luck, Buccaneers fans.
That's the kind of year it's been, though. You know?
It sure has. EJ, who's your top 10 this week?
All right, 10-1. Jaguars number 10. A reward. I don't want to say it's fraudulent because they're 4-1 and the one loss they probably should have beaten the Bengals, so they could be easy 5-0. But it doesn't feel like they're, it doesn't feel like it yet. I'm not bought in yet, but they deserve to be a top 10 team. Niners number 9. A reward for last week's win. 8 Packers. We'll see how they turn things around after the bye week. Number 7, the Rams. They gave away that game against the Niners. Number 6, the Broncos. Honestly, Bronco fans, I apologize. I believe in you guys. I was one of those guys before the year started. You guys are a little overvalued.
Breaking news,
believe
Broncos about to lose everything.
I will call myself to the floor and admit myself, yes, this is the real team in the AFC. Number 5, the Colts. Again, I said week 1, we saw things that were sustainable, and we're seeing it continue to sustain itself. And look, the AFC to me is wide open because number 4, the Bills. The Bills are the best team in the conference, but there's no real separation between them and everybody else in the AFC, which is a bad sign because it's Josh Allen a bust. Like right now, if you ask me right now who's a better team overall between Buffalo and Indy, I might go Indy.
Well, only one of those two teams has a defense that has a pulse, and that's the Colts.
Yeah. and a consistent running game right now.
Yeah.
So there you go. 3, the Bucks. They got the in my opinion right now through 5 weeks the MVP of the league in Baker Mayfield. Number 2, the Eagles. Look, I feel like the Eagles are sleep. I'll ask Sean the question. Didn't it feel like even up 17-3 they were sleepwalking?
I think the hard part is a lot of people try to find a team's pulse using like the offense, right? I mean, that's obviously typically where the pulse is, and I don't know if that's where the heart of how Philly wins games lies, but it typically is a measuring stick, and to this point, it's just so inconsistent. And whatever's going on, like they don't have a talent problem at all, but they clearly have some sort of coordinator or communication problem. I don't know. I mean, this was a guy that was promoted from within. He was supposed to be a Jalen Hurts guy. He was supposed to be an A.J. Brown guy, a keep everybody happy guy. Well, no one's happy, and nothing's working. So I don't know at what point. I mean, it's hard to, at one loss, to panic.
Yeah.
But I think there's got to be a point where even if you're winning games, you're like, look, pal, this isn't working. And as a GM or someone, Roseman's got to step in and be like, somebody else call the damn place for a game and see what happens.
Right. Also,
test something out because it's. I mean, what did Saquon Barkley have? 6 carries.
I was going to get there right now. That can't work. Your
he
formula
needs 15.
Your formula should not be 38 attempts by Jalen
A.J.
Hurts.
Brown should be getting the ball thrown at him 15 times, and Saquon Barkley should be getting the ball in his hands at least 15 times. If that's not happening, you're not running the offense correctly.
Especially because a team in Denver whose strength is pass rushing.
Right.
So what are we doing here? Saquon Barkley's attempts at the problem.
You have a 2,000-yard rusher a year ago 6 times. Now, given one of his touches was a reception for a touchdown, and that's fine if you want to make some of his touches receptions in certain matchups. But, man, let the big boys push.
All right, EJ, time out. We'll get back to the discussion. EJ, give us your number 1. We'll go through the rest of our list.
As I mentioned a little while ago, Detroit's best team right now in football. Like I said, that week 1 loss to the Packers is just seems to be forgotten. Like I said, they don't right now they're on a heater. They're back to where they were last year. The 15-2 team season last year prior to the playoff loss. So there's a top 10. I mean, like I said, this year there's no runaways here because, like I said, you could buy into Detroit right now being this great, and then the playoffs happened. Look what happened last year. So.
And here's the deal. I think it may take another year or two, but people are going to start figuring out that week 1s mean very little in the grand scheme of things.
Especially with a shortened preseason and nobody playing.
Week 1s don't matter. I'll leave it at that. Mike, on his, he has a 49ers 10, Steelers 9, Jaguars 8, Chargers 7, Packers 6, Colts 5, Bucks 4, Eagles 3, Bills 2, and Lions 1. Sean.
I've held on to the Rams. I still have the Rams in. I think they could have easily just won that game and just not been here. Brought the Commanders in. I think getting Jaden Daniels back and kind of seeing what he did for that offense, and I thought the defense played better a little because of it. I think they're right back in it. Give me the Niners here by default. I don't think they're here because they have 1 loss. That's the only reason they're here, not because I believe in them. But slightly more than Pittsburgh. Then I got the Broncos, who you now believe in, the Jaguars climbing right up the ranks, at least for now. And I got the Buccaneers in my top 5. Eagles have fallen to 4. Some of that is out of anger. And then I have, you don't got to tell me, EJ, about the Colts being a better team than the Bills because I've already put them there. Give me the Colts at 2 over the number 3 Bills, and then Man Campbell's Lions at number 1. Which, by the way, EJ, if the playoffs started today, I told Jim before he joined the show, your number 1 seed, the Indianapolis Colts.
It's insane. Shane Steichen, as Jim said.
My top 10, I still have the Rams at 10, 49ers 9, Jags 8. My Chargers plummet to number 7, Packers 6, Bills 5, Colts 4, Bucks 3, Eagles 2, and Lions 1. Anybody want to talk about anything?
Well, Dan Campbell's not upset with
I respect what Sean did with the Colts, honestly. You're seeing things that are just like, okay, we're down in middle of October now, and we're seeing things that, hey, this is a really good team. Daniel Jones is playing for himself.
It's not super flashy. It's not super exciting. It's football. It's balanced football on both sides of the ball, and it's not asking Daniel Jones too much and watching him do it very well.
And they quietly have the highest point differential at plus 74.
I was going to bring that up. It's my favorite stat, Jim. Thank you for saying so. But yeah, point differential for the Colts plus 74.
And I got to be honest, if I do this list again, I would actually flip the Colts.
Although even after a week 1 debacle with Green Bay, the Detroit Lions are plus 62. In case anyone was wondering.
Yeah.
Honestly, if I do this all over again, I would flip the Colts to the Bills. Because here's the thing with the Bills too. Also, who have they played this year? Really, who they played? That's. And they beat the Saints.
You got a bottom 5 Ravens team. That was the first week. You got a
bottom 5 Saints team.
Right, and that's a game the Bills almost lost, by the way, to the Ravens.
Yeah.
Right. They almost lost it.
I don't think people know what to do in their minds with because that was supposed to be like these 2 great teams in a
right AFC Championship preview. And now it's like,
and now it's like, is it just because they were both terrible?
It's just, yeah. So they beat the bottom Jets, the bottom Saints. You know what I'm saying? And by the way, outside the Jets game, all those games were nip and tuck.
Yeah,
Dolphins too. Dolphins. Also.
Right. I mean, they have a plus 40. You know, like so you're winning games in 5 games. That's less than 10-point margin on average.
So we got if we're judging Buffalo as a Super Bowl contender, we got to look at them a little more suspect, if you will.
Yeah,
it's Josh Allen bust.
Questionable. The one-loss teams that I'm questionable, like the 49ers, their point differential is only like plus 8 or something. And then like the Steelers are minus 2.
Steelers are a fraud. Steelers are a fraud.
But the Niners have an excuse though.
They do. Yeah, I mean they're
guys out.
They have guys out. Than their starting quarterback. I don't think that's an excuse.
They're finding ways to win. Unlike the Ravens, unlike the Steelers. Look, the Steelers.
Yeah, they found a way. It's Mac Jones.
Yeah, the Steelers. Right.
Mac Jones is how you win, not Brock Purdy. He's Brock Purdy or
right. The Steelers feel a little fraudulent.
Yes.
You got to see a stretch.
No, they're frauds.
But it is
I think if that schedule that Jim read off is the stretch, we're going to get our moment to see how real they are.
Yes, exactly.
I thought for sure the worst differential in the league would be the Titans, and they're at minus 68, which is really terrible. But only one team worse, the Cincinnati Bengals at minus 71.
Oof. The bottom fell out. That's good. Literally.
They're just like, look, just score. It's fine.
The sad thing is, like, because I think even at 4-1, and yes, they're finding ways to win. They beat the Rams. They beat Seattle week 1. I think if you play Seattle last week you probably lose to them. I think Seattle was trying.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But
and I mean, it's the one that I allude to every week where Darnold is leading him right down the field, trips on his face.
But like when you look at the Niners schedule, I mean, they play at Tampa this week, but then after that, Atlanta, Houston, Giants. Then you got the Rams again, Cardinals, Panthers, Browns, Titans. They like. I don't think the Niners are very good, but they have so many winnable games.
Yeah, who's going to stand? God dang.
Now, over your last 3 weeks of the year, you have Colts, Bears, Seahawks. Your final 3 have two big ones, but
so those other teams in that division have to hang with them.
Yeah, and I think Seattle will.
Games, you're not going to have a shot.
I think Seattle will, but my goodness, the Niners have a pretty easy road.
and we said that before the year started.
Yeah,
that they should win north 11 games just because of the schedule.
Of course, you take Christian McCaffrey out of the picture. That's a very different team.
Well, that's true.
Right, and we had to bake that in too. Also, he I hate to say it, he will get hurt at some point this year.
Yeah, and to be fair, Seattle passed the Jags this week. Very similar road. Houston, Washington, Arizona, Rams, Titans, Vikings, Falcons, Colts, Rams, Panthers, Niners. So the West opponents are on the easier side. So
a little bit of a slimmer schedule.
So a little slimmer there. But yeah, Colts playing extremely well, and they're not scraping by against the bad teams. They're winning pretty convincingly. Sean and EJ, you guys both have the Broncos in. I'm not quite there yet. Yes, I know they beat the team that I had at number 1, but like I also, and this is kind of why I didn't really punish the Eagles. I guess they blew it. Yes, there's questions about what the Eagles are right now, but I feel like the win for the Broncos more about the Eagles and more about officiating than it was about now they didn't die, they didn't roll over, but I want to see a little bit more, because even into that third quarter a bit, it felt like the Broncos were like, they were on that line of like, oh, last year was a bit of a fluke. So I'm just not quite there yet with the Broncos myself.
You talked to the guy that came to the year once again saying that they felt overvalued. But what I had to do is reassess the entire year on its head and forget my feelings on it and just watch the games. And they should have beat the Colts. They got screwed by the fucking penalty late in the game. So they have games they were the Chargers game too also had a lead late. So they're two bounces away from being 5-0 right now.
Then again, they only beat the Titans by 8 too. So like, if we want to play,
right, but as you said though, I'm using words against you, buddy.
Fair. It was a week one. It was a week one.
Right. So I mean, and again, everybody, what we're learning this year, 5 weeks in, is that everyone's going to have a bad loss on their schedule.
Absolutely.
It's just what it is. Or either a bad loss or
Cowboys, Bears.
Right, or just a bad. Well, the Bears are probably better than we think they are. We'll see after the bye. But like I said, I just think the Broncos, reassessing everything we've seen now, and this is with Bo Nix, who hasn't played that great either.
Yeah. And to be fair, so like, in the years past, we've talked about tiers. Right now, I feel like the Lions are my clear-cut number 1. There was no question there. Like Eagles, Bucks, Colts, maybe Bills are kind of in the next grouping. Packers, Chargers, Jags are kind of in that next grouping. And then that 9-10, like I kind of battled over it. Like it was like, okay, Seattle, I had it. I almost wanted to keep Seattle in the 10. I had them at 10. They lost to a really good team. But then I was like, well, do I sneak the Broncos in and bump the Rams out? Do I keep the Niners in? I feel like I have to because they beat the Rams. So like I was battling over the 9 and 10 spots. So like the Broncos are probably hovering in that 11-12 area with the Seahawks. Yeah. So they're not far out. I just wasn't quite ready to throw them in yet.
If we're just evaluating the 5 weeks alone, what we've seen so far in 5 weeks, the Lions are tier 1.
Yeah,
that's it. Okay. However, who do I trust more? Bigger picture? It's going to be Philadelphia still, because again, defending champions, Detroit has melted down in the playoffs. We've seen it. That's until you prove it to me otherwise, I can't.
Well, injuries haven't helped the Lions either. So I think the key there for them is going to be health.
Right.
Health
but
for sure.
Right now, through 5 weeks, Detroit has been is the clear best team in football right now. Clear.
Yeah. But yeah, and I don't know if it's just because there's been other years obviously where this segment has brought out heavy emotions and feelings because there's been kind of, I think, a clearer picture even at week 6. Like I feel like there's been clearer pictures this year with just as chaotic as everything has been. Like there's nothing on anybody's list that feels egregious. Like Sean has the Packers out. Mike and I didn't move them because they were at 6. They had a bye. Teams above them lost. I was like, I'm not really going to punish the Packers where they are. They are where they are. But you don't have them in. That's fine. EJ, you have them at 8. That's fine. Like some of us have the Jags in. Sean has the Commanders. Cool. Like there's nothing, and even when you're looking at the bottom 5, like there's differing opinions. Ravens are in some. EJ has the Raiders.
I have a small chunk of teams just out that
they very easily find their way in. Like there's nothing. it feels so chaotic. I feel like I'm trying to anchor my stake in quicksand. Like there's just nothing. There's nothing to grab onto right now. Besides the Lions at 1.
Yeah. And again, this is the beauty of the season. The puzzle is still being put together little by little.
Sure.
We think we know, but we don't know.
Not a clue.
And if week 5 touch anything, is that damn.
We still don't know shit.
Destroyed by parlays. I had parlays running. And I thought after the first 1 o'clock games at halftime, I was looking pretty. And those same favorites end up losing altogether. Really, in mine, screwed me.
Achane having 16 yards rushing is what popped one of mine. I only had him getting 50. You couldn't get 50?
And yet that coach is still coaching.
Yeah,
this week.
Unbelievable. Any other thoughts on the rankings before we close them up?
I think we're good here. I think we've exhausted it.
All right, so very good. And now we're going to close it up as we do each and every week.
You better lock it up. You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. You lock it up. Lock it up. Lock it up.
All right, we look ahead to the weekend that will be, and we pick one thing that will happen this weekend. Sean, what will happen this weekend?
Well, you were right about a sloppy slate of games. I was like, man, let's go out on a limb here. What do I say? The Colts beat the Cardinal. I mean, they're all very easy ones. Yeah, it's not the best. And as much as I want to just be like, oh, Chiefs are going to lose, I think we all think that. I'm going to go out on none of these limbs are big enough. I'm going to go out on a bigger limb than I planned on. The Tennessee Titans and Cam Ward, hot off their first win of the season, his first win of his career, sitting at 2 touchdown passes for the year, are headed to Las Vegas, Nevada, to take on a abysmal
struggling
Las Vegas Raiders team.
Yeah,
and I'm going to lock it up that on the road, he not only doubles his touchdown performance for the season with 2 touchdowns in this game, but the Titans win. They're second in the row and just climb their way right out of everybody's bottom 5.
Lock it up.
So what's the old quote? Like, gentlemen, this is a win. You get another one, that's 2 in a row. You find a third one, that's called a winning streak.
I love that movie. Part 2. Part 2.
So we're almost there. We're 1/3 of the way there for the Titans.
I'll be honest,
1/3 of the way to a winning streak. Here we go.
Yeah.
God,
all right, EJ, what will happen this weekend?
Now, I gotta be honest, like I know there's some couple bad games here, but there's still a lot of compelling games here. Like even the Bears Commanders Monday night game.
That one actually could be a little bit fun. Is this another 2 Monday night game?
Yes, it is.
God dang it! Why?
I'm not a fan.
Yeah,
but
it's
whatever.
2 again.
It's like every other week. I don't like it.
It's the 7:15, 8:15 slot.
That's
7 and 10.
Right. If you're gonna do them, spread them out a little bit more. Do a 7 o'clock and like a 8:45.
Yeah. But my lock of the week is that Sam Darnold, my top 12 quarterback in the league, will throw for 3 touchdowns and 300 yards in a losing cause in
Duval.
Further
Cohen's case for Coach of the Year.
Do you have that soundbite, the Duval?
I should get that.
I'm surprised I didn't have it already, buddy.
There's a few I need to add. I'm gonna get that.
Yeah,
that's a good one. I should have had that already. And mine. So a little behind the curtain here. So I have the YouTube TV on my thing here, and I had the triple box going because I had the Penguins beating EJ's alleged Rangers. I had the Yankees Blue Jays, which is all of a sudden tied at 6.
Yeah, is that Judge home run right now off the?
I did. I saw that, and then I had the Mariners beating the Tigers, but the replay of Big Noon Saturday from this past week, Michigan beating Wisconsin. So my lock of the week, what will happen is, and as hard as it is to believe, number 14 Michigan, a last check 1.5 point underdog at unranked USC this upcoming weekend. I don't know how you're favoriting USC against most teams in the Big Ten, but nonetheless, underdog Michigan goes into the Coliseum, not only wins, double-digit win.
Lock it up.
In the Coliseum.
I love it. Hope it happens.
Nice.
In the Coliseum. Not great for Notre Dame's schedule, but as we were talking about earlier in the show, we don't need USC to be good at this point. Enough things have happened above Notre Dame. Do your job. You're in a playoff.
The Miami loss looks really, really good right now for you guys.
So does the A&M loss at this point.
Yeah. So I mean, just do your job, and I think you can back to the plan.
You went from after the loss. They went from 8 to or from 6 to 24 after with a week 2 loss. You have now made it back up to 16.
There you go.
You're fine. Enough things have happened above you. More things will happen above you. Notre Dame will be just fine as long as they do their job.
Are there any more consequential games on the schedule that can help you even more if you win?
Not really. I mean, USC is probably the best team left on the schedule. So it's USC. You have a couple of ACC squads. You play Navy. All winnable games. There's not one that's going to boost them. It's just a matter, do your job and let the things above you fall. You literally only have to move, in theory, 5 more spots over the next 7 games. Mm-hmm. That should be more than doable, especially when a lot of teams above you have to play each other. So I think Notre Dame will be just fine. But let's close it up. EJ, let them know where they can follow you.
All right. I came late today, but we still made it. Next week I'm probably gonna be out because I'm doing my NBA season preview with my boys. As long as that still holds up. But I am on Twitter at I want to say X because I know Jim gets mad at me about that, so I won't do that. But Earthly Podcast, of course, all podcast catchers. Of course, we put out content Monday through Friday. What else? I'm on TikTok at First Week Pod, the YouTube page First Week Pod as well too. And that's all I got for you guys. So another great show.
All right, very good, Sean. Let them know.
All right, follow me out there on the Twitter at Sean Shine State, or just creeping around EJ's backyard. Hang out there, throw things at the van. It'll be a good
I was
time.
out there in June, bro. I was there in June.
Yeah, but yeah. Catch me there. Catch me posting some funny memes or something like that. But most importantly, follow me right here on Huddle Up Pod with Team Sean.
Yeah, and you can get me at Big Jim Sports on Twitter and Blue Sky. But most importantly, follow along with the show. We're at Huddle Up Podcast on Facebook, Blue Sky, TikTok, and Twitter. We're on Instagram at Huddle Up Podcast Inc. You can get us on YouTube, and please do. Our numbers continue to grow over there. People commenting, people reacting. We post, obviously, the live show. We have each of our segments clipped out. We have shorts up there. So please hit the subscribe button on our YouTube page. We'd certainly appreciate that. Share it with your friends. You can get our merchandise over on our TeePublic store. Shows are on all podcast platforms. So we certainly do appreciate that. Until next week, enjoy the football. Enjoy playoff baseball if you are into that sort of thing. The NHL season back as well. So plenty of sports. Best sports month of the year. Until next Tuesday, stay safe, stay smart, and as always, go for the win.